Hi everyone, it's Brittany, and today I am going to be sharing a client's experience with you. This video, I don't know what I'm going to name it, but it is a topic that I've really been wanting to talk to you guys about. So as always, I'll share my client's experience and then I'll just kind of move into the topic of today. So this client who I love very much, I've been working with her for a while, and we've gotten to know each other pretty well. She originally had come to me for an SP thing, and she has been having lots of amazing experiences. She's manifested some incredible things, but when it came to SP stuff, she just found a lot of hot and cold experiences. And no matter what she was doing, it would appear to show up in the way she wanted, and then it would kind of drift away. And, he would reach out to her and things would be great. And then he would kind of disappear and she wouldn't hear from him for a while. And she was really getting tired of this hot and cold, up and down, experience with him. But she had also over time been manifesting a relationship with her brother. So, not going to get into the details, but basically, she had been experiencing a strained relationship with her brother. And not only was it with her, but his relationship was strained with her parents as well. So, she wasn't seeing him for holidays, she wasn't hearing from him anymore. Reaching out to him, didn't get responses, like just not communicating with each other. And it made her sad, and that is an important relationship that she really wants to keep. So she just had this experience with her SP where basically he was coming in saying all these great things, and then she stopped hearing from him again, and they were planning on getting together. And when she asked him, like, so when are we going to meet up again, he didn't respond for days and days. And so she was really just kind of sitting with herself and remembering that as the source, I am the only one who can give these things to myself. As the source, I'm the only one who gets to choose. So I have to stop looking outside of myself for what I want, and I have to start giving it to myself within. Now, it's not that she hadn't been doing that, but she realized that based off of what was happening outside of her, what was appearing to happen outside of her, was causing her to jump in and out of her identity, who she said she was. And I want to make it incredibly clear for you guys. When I say we're not doing this to change the 3D, there's two meanings here. So, yes, I've talked about it in great detail about how we have to stop attaching ourselves to the 3D, because choosing to be someone is not to make something happen. It's choosing to be it because that's who you want to be. If you're trying to make something happen, you're clearly not being who you want to be. You're being a version of yourself that's trying to become this character, but you're not recognizing that that's all the 3D can show you is more trying, more things in your experience to create this illusion that you don't have it yet and it's not here yet. So because she had that realization, she was like, I am choosing here and now that I have an amazing relationship with my brother. He's awesome, he's reliable, and everything is great. Everything is great with us. And that was it. That was all she did. She made the decision, and that was it. So a few days go by, and her birthday comes, and she's like, you know what? My brother is definitely going to wish me a happy birthday. Of course he will, because he's an amazing brother. He's always there for me. And her birthday came and went, and she did not receive a call from him. She didn't hear from him. Now, she didn't feel great about it, but she reminded herself, regardless of what's happening out there or not happening out there, I am who I say I am. I have an amazing relationship with my brother, and he's always been there for me. And she just dropped it and let it go. I don't remember if she said the next day, but it was the next day or the day after that where her dad called her and said, hey, you have a package that needs to be picked up. And she was like, okay, that's weird, but I'll come get it. Long story short, she opened the package and it was from her brother, and he had sent her a bottle of champagne, and a birthday card. So this reminded her that, oh my God, what I've been doing with SP is basing my identity off of what shows up outside of me. So if he doesn't text me back for several days, I keep coming back and saying, okay, no, 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 no. We're in an amazing relationship. Everything's good. But she's doing that from a place of trying to convince herself, of trying to adjust herself based off of the 3D reflection. And guys, when I say we can't change the 3D world, what I mean is you have no ability to change the 3D reflection. You have no ability to do that. So when people come into manifestation and they realize they can have whatever they want, they are doing it from the perspective that they are changing something outside of themselves. Well, remember, there's nothing outside of you, number one. Number two, you cannot change a reflection. The only thing you can do is change yourself so that the reflection will appear differently. So if you're standing in front of a mirror and you think you have a bad hair day, you're not going to try to touch the mirror and fix your hair through the reflection. That wouldn't make any sense. What you're going to do is touch your head and adjust your hair yourself so that the mirror can reflect your hair in a different way. So really, when you look outside of yourself and you say, well, I decided that I'm in this amazing relationship, but he's not calling me, but he just told me that he wants nothing to do with me, but he's in a relationship, but he just blocked me on social media. Whatever it is, guys, you are now adjusting yourself, who you say you are, based off of the constantly changing reflection. And that is never going to give you consistent experiences or whatever it is that you're choosing to identify with, because you're not staying there. You're jumping in and out of the version of you that is who you say you are and into the version of you that's trying to manifest this experience. So I've talked about this quite a lot in videos, but if you are trying to do anything, if you are coming from a perspective of, okay, in order to get what I want, I have to do X, Y, and Z. Well, that will be your experience. You will have to do all of those things to get what you want, number one. But number two, you are identifying with the version of you that doesn't have it. So you can get little reflections here and there that, maybe look promising, maybe look like, ooh, things are moving in the right direction. But then as soon as you see something that from your human perspective, and we're judging it based off of very little information, you're judging it and saying, this is not how it's supposed to look. This is wrong. So I must be doing something wrong. Manifestation doesn't work. I'm doing everything right, or maybe I'm not doing everything right. Whatever it is, you are now taking a reflection that has no built-in meaning whatsoever, and you are defining it in a way that says, this is not right, this is wrong, it shouldn't look this way, it shouldn't feel this way. Therefore, I'm not getting what I want. Therefore, I'm not who I say I am. And that is just defeating the whole purpose of choosing your new identity. If you're going to change your identity based off of changing feelings, thoughts, and experiences, yeah, it's going to seem like you're constantly chasing something that you can never get to. But if you realize that everything is conforming around you and who you say you are, the reflections are going to reflect you and who you choose to be, and it's not the thoughts and it's not the feelings, then there's nothing to do but assume you are who you say you are, while understanding that as the source, who I choose to be, who I define myself to be, who I declare myself to be, is the only possible truth, because I determine that. I determine what's true. Not the thoughts, not the feelings, not the circumstances. So I used this example with one of my clients. I can't remember who it was, but I basically had said to her, okay, if you are going to see a movie and right before you get into the movie, your friend ruins it for you and tells you the ending. And she says, hey, by the way, at the end, the guy, he becomes the richest man in the world and he gets married to the love of his life. And she was like, okay, yeah. Well, you would have ruined the movie for me then if you did that. And I said, yeah, exactly. But let's say you chose to watch the movie anyway. So you're in the theater and pretty quickly you get immersed into the movie and the experience that's, being displayed in front of you. So, let's say first thing happens is that this guy gets broken up with and his girlfriend moves across the country to go, start her own life and do something completely different. And then he ends up losing his job because he can't focus on his work. And then he ends up finding out that she gets engaged to someone else. And then he becomes homeless because he can't afford his rent anymore. And it continues to look worse and worse and worse. But even though you might be like, oh my God, no, this can't happen. Oh my gosh, I feel so horrible for this guy. How is this going to get better? How is this going to work out? You do know one thing. You know that your friend already ruined the ending for you. And she told you that in the end, he gets married to the love of his life and he becomes the richest man in the world. So regardless of what these reflections appear to look like from the human perspective, again, you say what they mean. You decide what that means to you. And I really just want you guys across the board to choose to define absolutely everything that you see, experience, feel is happening for you, is happening right now as we speak to allow you to have the experience of who you say you are. It's it, guys. Like, this is simple. I'm not saying it's always easy, okay? And I want to make it clear in that analogy that I just used. She wasn't sitting here all throughout the movie saying, well, I'm not going to get upset at this because I know what happens at the end. Well, I'm not going to, worry about what his girlfriend's doing and getting engaged because, I know what happens in the end. No, she's not thinking about the end because she's fully immersed in the movie, just like we are with the 3D experience. Just like how we seem to forget who we are. But we don't forget. We just temporarily fall asleep for a moment. We forget, meaning we identify as the character, but then we get to always come back. So it's not about you reacting to a circumstance or feeling upset that you don't have the money that you want in your bank account or feeling lonely because you're not experiencing the relationship that you want. There's nothing wrong with feeling those feelings and having thoughts about those things and those feelings. But you do not use those things to define who you are. This is it, guys. This is truly it. You assume something and you stick to that assumption no matter what. No matter what. I had actually an experience, or not me, one of my other clients had an experience that I want to share here as well, because it just represents exactly what I'm talking about in such a beautiful way. So for her, she was going through something where she was having a difficult time with her partner, her boyfriend. And basically, she got herself into a situation where she was deciding she wanted to move out. She just couldn't do it anymore. She was really overwhelmed with the 3D. And she was just like, I totally forgot who I was. And I fell into being completely human. And I was freaking out. I was feeling all of these emotions. And I reminded her, that's okay. That's perfectly okay. But she said, you know what? Now that we're talking about this, I'm realizing something that happened. She said, as I was packing my things, and getting ready to just like leave, I realized, like, what am I doing? This isn't me. Like, this is my home. I am who I say I am. And because I'm in the most amazing, beautiful relationship where my partner respects me and loves me and always wants me to be happy and safe, I'm not moving. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here. And so even though the plan was for her to leave, within minutes, her boyfriend came up to her and said, hey, listen, you stay here. I'm going to go to my mom's for a little bit to cool off. And their relationship is back on track. Things are going well. But the whole point of that is she wouldn't have had that experience of being able to stay in her home if she didn't take a stand for herself and say, no, I'm not doing this. Like, and it's not that she couldn't have packed her stuff and moved out. That would have been fine too. But all that matters is, who are you defining yourself as when you're doing these things? Who are you saying that you are? So she decided in that moment, no, for me, I'm not moving out because this is where I live. But she could have just as easily had said, I am choosing to move out, and somehow, some way, this is proof that I am who I say I am, regardless of what the human me wants to judge it as. So yeah, guys, this is just a short little video to really, really remind you how simple this is. Again, I'm not saying it's easy all times. Like, I know we have things going on in our lives. I completely understand that. So please be gentle with yourself. Stop beating yourself up for having these human emotions and human thoughts. Remember, the character only knows the reflection. So he or she is only basing things off of the five senses and previous stories and previous experiences that that character believes were true and real for them. So you always have a choice, and the choice is, are you going to serve your thoughts, your feelings, and the circumstances? Are you going to allow those things to tell you who you are? Or are you going to serve I am? Are you going to choose to recognize that as the source of your entire life experience, you always, always, always determine who you are? And life, the 3D mirror, will reflect that back to you. But if you're using reflections to determine who you are, it's going to feel very, very difficult. Okay, guys, I hope that this video is helpful for you. Thank you so much to both of my amazing clients for allowing me to share your experiences. I really, truly appreciate it because I know it helps so many people. So thank you so much. And yeah, thank all of you for being here, for your amazing comments. I just love you guys so much. Like, every time I post a video, I'm so excited to have conversations with you in the comments. And I do my best to reply. It can be difficult because I'm just doing this all by myself. It's just me. I don't have anybody else working with me. And as you guys know, I have a family and I have a lot of things going on in my life. So I do my best, and just know if I do not reply to your comment, it's nothing about you. It's just that I didn't have the opportunity to do it. So I think most important thing for me is filming the content to get out to you guys, definitely communicating through the comments, and then obviously I do sessions. So I just want to remind you guys that I love you and I so appreciate you. And yeah, thank you for being so amazing. And thank you so much to all of you who help others in the comments as well. I seriously love my people. I love you guys so, so much. And I hope you have an amazing, amazing rest of your week.